Okay, so we're gonna start the wire armature for our paper mache. The armature is like a skeleton. It gives the paper mache animal structure, and you can pick any animal that you want to do for this because the wire is going to be that support. And so I like giraffes, so I'm going to go ahead and show you at least my, let's exit out of this, my reference, and this is what I want you to do as well. So if you're changing animals here, then you need to make sure that you have the side, the front, and then the side of the head and the front of the head for your paper mache sculpture. Okay, so same thing that we did before. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my wire. The pliers have a circle area in the center of them. This is where you can cut. Okay, so that's what you can do with them when you're ready to like cut the area. I would say when you come up to the front, you want to go ahead and get a big section and go ahead and cut it off, because you can't just work off of this big spool of wire. You need to take a piece and then go back to your desk. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the head. I'm going to decide how big I want this to be. And I'm going to make this just 2D for right now. And I'm going really basic. I'm not doing anything that's super complicated, because this is just like the core or that skeleton on the inside. Okay, so I would have just a little circle head. I'm going to put a hook on one side. Okay, so then I can hook it to the other piece of wire and I can pinch it and it's going to stay. Okay, the wire can be frustrating, and you might even have to take like the rest of this wire and kind of loop this up so it's not hitting your neighbor, right, and poking them. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and smash this and it should stay. If for some reason it doesn't, okay, and no matter what you do, you can't get it to stay, you can take a piece of tape and tape around that and then make it stay that way. Okay, all of this is going to get covered with paper mache anyways, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make like the width of this head. So I'm going to go this direction and wrap around this way. So I have kind of a 3D shape since his head is a bigger like form. Okay, and I could just loop this in, cut this off, and loop it so it's going to go inside here. Okay, and then again, smash it so it'll stay, but you're making something that's three-dimensional. I'm not really going to worry too much about the shape of the head. I could like push down the wires and maybe give them more of a slope, right? This part's not even connected. That's really not that big of a deal. But I've got his head made, okay? The next part that's really got a lot of thickness to him is his body. And so really I need another shape that's very similar to this, something that is going to give that height, right? But it's also going to give that width as well. So I'm going to make something very similar to that for his body shape, okay? And if I need to look back at my picture, I can, but I'm going to pinch and make a loop, okay? So you can see my hook on the end of that. And then I'm trying to decide where, like how big should this body be? I have this laid out. I have this one down here, and I'm trying to gauge, you know, should I make it, this is probably too little, right? This is probably too big. So you've got to like figure out what proportion this needs to be. Okay, and these should be similar to our pots. They should only be like 6 to 8 inches tall. They can't be massive or we won't get them done. Okay, so I'm going to pinch. Sometimes they'll like slide, but you should be able to smash and get that to attach to it. Okay, and then I'm going to go the opposite way around here, and I don't even think I have enough space. I don't have enough wire. So I can just splice a piece in the middle of it. And again, we should not worry about the wire part. because you aren't going to see any of the wire. All this wire is structural and it's going to help your animal stand up, but it's not going to be something that is something that you're going to see. Okay, so I'm going to just put another hook here and a hook here and attach these two pieces. So hook that one, and then I can do the same thing here and hook this one. I would rather do this than start over. Okay, some people, I guess maybe they wouldn't. They would rather start over, but I would rather do it like this. Okay, so again, I'll smash on those two hooks so they stay. And then anything that doesn't want to stay where you want it to, okay, then you can put a piece of tape. If I want to make sure that that stays right there, then I can put a piece of tape, oops, right across and attach these two pieces together. Okay, in a bigger scale for something like this, they would probably be like welding them together, right? And so they would stay, but for our scale, this is where we're at. Okay, so I have the bigger, bulkier part for like the body, the one for the head. Everything else on a giraffe is pretty skinny, and so we don't need to make it really like 3D like this. We're just going to use a wire and just figure out like how long does this animal's head need to be. Okay, if he's down here, he's not going to look like a giraffe, right? If he's way up here, that's probably not going to look like a giraffe either. So you're trying to proportion-wise figure out where that should go. So I'm going to go ahead and hook and then attach, I'm going to go the back right here. Attach this for like his neck and smash and kind of pinch that. And then I'm going to figure out, okay, how long do I want this to be? And then give myself maybe a little bit extra just so when I pinch and make a hook, I can attach that right there. And again, smash it. And if it doesn't want to stay, then you can put some tape on it. Okay, so I have proportion-wise, like the head's coming out of the center of this. If you look at it from the top, you can see the side. I'm going to need 4 legs, which I'm going to have them come out of the bottom of this circle. Okay, and it's more of like like 2 circles that are crisscrossed. So they're like an X. So I'm going to have 2 here and 2 here, so I can cut myself like 4 pieces of wire. I can make them all the same length. Okay, and so I'm thinking about how big should these legs or how long should they be. Okay, and again, you're probably going to have to look at that picture and decide what you want them to, what you want to have this look like. Okay, so here's 4. They're not all like 100% perfect, like the same length. They'll be fine. We can do that with paper at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and pinch and make hooks on all of these. Okay, so you can see the hook. And then I am going to attach them here and smash them so they're going to stay where I want them to be. Okay, so for my giraffe, this is all I need to do. Okay, I'm thinking about the most basic, whoops, I just made a hook. I need it on the other side. I already have one. We're thinking about the most basic things. We're not thinking about his legs getting smaller as they go down. We're just thinking about where are his legs and how long are they. Okay, and so that's what you should do too. Think about your animal on how much like dimension do certain areas have. If their tail is really, really skinny, then you probably only need a piece of wire. If their tail is really, really big, then you probably need something more than that. And so like maybe a wolf has a big fluffy tail or a fox has a big fluffy tail and you would need more. Okay, so this is where we're at. We're just trying to map out this wire armature to get our animal in the right proportions. This is where you can say, my neck is too tall, right? I need to make that shorter, and you can do that before you even start. Okay, my legs aren't long enough. Maybe you add some more to them. Okay, I do need a little bit of a tail. Okay, and you know, in my head, I can't even really think about, I don't know what a giraffe tail looks like. Like how long does it actually, so I mean, you can see it's not too long, but you might have to check and see where you're at. So I'll pinch, put this on here, and then you should be good. Okay, questions? Very basic. Whoops. If it comes off, you'll just have to hook it back on. And then tape anything that's not working. Okay, so if this one wants to move on you, then you take a piece of tape and go ahead and tape it where it needs to be. Okay? Questions? So what you need is a picture, just like we did before. 4 pictures, you can do that on your computer. The wire, I'm going to put these plaster slabs away, set out the wire, set out the pliers, and you're ready to grab that when you are done with your clay animals. Okay? And then I'll have videos posted that you can check.